Hi, Jason.
Hi, Stacey.
Another week of us.
Yes.
Another week of us. I'm Stacey Powells.
I'm Jason Brown.
And we're calling it whatever the heck it is because we haven't come up with any other really crazy TV show name, although something with Jason and Stacey. What was that?
I don't recall.
What's that? Okay.
I just told you. I'm like at the point.
I know.
What planet am I on?
I know. You've had a hard.
Earth, and I asked if the people were nice here.
You work a lot. You definitely work a lot. And speaking of working a lot, we are happy to have Laura Beardsley with us, who is the Executive Director of Disabled Sports Eastern Sierra, DSES, which is a fabulous organization that works out of Mammoth Mountain Ski Area and other places in the summer to help people who have all sorts of disabilities get out and enjoy the outdoors. So for those people who don't know what DSES is, first of all, shame on you. You should know that. And secondly, Laura, what?
That's so shame on me, because just before the show, I was like, okay, DSES, what's that?
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. If the shoe fits.
Thank you.
You lived here a long time. You know what DSES is.
I know it very well. When I really enjoyed watching them when they be on when the disabled people be on their mono skis.
Oh, it's great. With the volunteers and everything. Yeah. You need one of those drips.
Yes.
You need one of those IV peak drips is what Jason needs.
That might help.
Get your brain back. It'll get your brain back. But so let's talk a little bit about DSES. And so how many years has it been?
So Disabled Sports Eastern Sierra, I will say DSES. It's an acronyms get confusing, but they're easy. We have been providing adaptive recreation opportunities in the Eastern Sierra for 20 years. Just about. November 2023 will be our 20th winter season.
Wow. So it started around 2003 with Kathy Copeland spearheading it.
Yep. Yeah. Wow. Kathy founded the Mammoth Adaptive Sports Foundation in 2001, actually, and it became Disabled Sports Eastern Sierra with the delivery of our first on-snow targeted programs for folks with disabilities at Mammoth Mountain in 2003.
So what kind of programs does DSES offer?
We offer, in the winter, skiing, snowboarding, Nordic skiing, and occasionally snowshoe adventures, but primarily skiing and snowboarding at Mammoth Mountain. As well as Nordic skiing at Tamarack Cross Country Ski Center. We offer half-day private lessons as well as multi-day camp programs. So we have 2 military sports programs, Operation Mountain Freedom and Operation High Altitude.
And those are with the Wounded Warriors?
Targeted specifically towards veterans and service members with disabilities, We've designed those programs and put a lot of energy into revising that curriculum. So it is an opportunity for these service members and vets to come and integrate the challenge and that real rewarding experience of being outside and playing in the snow or camping with your family, and combining that experience with specialized training in things like personal well-being, resilience, goal setting, navigating life's transitions. It's a fabulous opportunity for folks to be able to, just garner all the benefits of this incredible place and turn them into something really positive.
Right, because a lot of people with disabilities, I imagine, feel sometimes that maybe they can't do, I can't ski anymore and I can't, go out on the lake anymore, and because of their disabilities. But DSES gives them the opportunity, not only for them and their families, to experience what they used to experience maybe before their disability. And I've seen firsthand the smiles on the faces of the families. And I've seen wives, come up to the volunteers and say, thank you so much for having this, because my husband has been XYZ for so long, or my wife, who was injured in a war, was not able to she didn't want to get out of the house. And with this program, it gives them the opportunity not to just be able to go ski and snowboard, but to create community.
Exactly. I mean, I think that there is a lot of opportunity to, just get outside and have fun with your friends, have fun with your family. And that, I love participating in outdoor recreation. And I think a lot of people who live and work in the Eastern Sierra do. And that experience is really the same for everyone. And so part of what DSES does, whether it's for veterans and service members with disabilities, whether it's for people living with autism or people living with spinal cord injuries or amputations or any other disability, it's really about supporting people as they're getting outside and having fun in the natural world. The adaptive recreation community, just like the outdoor recreation community, is really growing. And it's a lot of that experience it's about personal challenge, but it's also about, as you were saying, that sense of community, that sense of camaraderie, that sense of sort of belonging and shared interest that comes from outdoor sports.
So tell me about the volunteers and how important it is for volunteers to keep that, how important it is that you have the volunteers to keep these programs going.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So DSES, we have between 100 and 200 active volunteers that really help make the program magic. Everything from helping support in the office, greeting our guests, taking reservations, to really the majority of our volunteers help as instructors. So we provide extensive training, and then we work with volunteers, many of whom have pursued certification through either the PSIA, which is the Professional Ski Instructors of America, or AASI, the Association of American Snowboard Instructors.
Wait, close enough, but it sounds good enough to us.
Right? Or also we encourage mountain biking certification as well through the Bike Instructor Certification Program. And volunteers help to create these experiences through instruction, through just incredible energy and contributions of their time and interest to supporting people getting out and skiing and riding, having fun.
So how old do you have to be to volunteer for this?
You have to be 14.
Oh, so teenagers can do this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So 14 to volunteer. In order to be a solo instructor on a lesson, 18.
Mm-hmm.
And you can volunteer anywhere from 14 to, I don't know, whenever you decide you don't want to volunteer anymore.
So the volunteers, not only do they help get these people out on the snow, but you also have volunteers, like you said, in the office, because I used to do that in the office. It's
right.
Very, very crowded in there and very, very busy in there and very, very loud in there. Always something
trying
going
to
on.
make more space.
There's always something going on in there. And also when you have these events,
right,
like these camps, there's also people can volunteer to cook food. Is that, you got a lot of people who cook food for the events.
Yes. Yeah. We have volunteers who help with cooking or help with logistics. In addition to the two military or veteran-focused multi-day camps, we offer mountain biking camps in the summer, as well as family camp programs. So bring your family up and ride bikes or paddle at June Lake with us, and then we spend some time in camp fishing or playing games,
roasting hot dogs and marshmallows.
All the things you do in camp. S'mores are usually part of the experience. So and volunteers do help with making those programs come together and come alive.
So what is entailed in the volunteer training?
So depending on what type of volunteering you want to do, everyone participates in training around this DSES, our policies, our procedures, things like that. And then for new volunteers, new on-snow volunteers, we ask that everybody come and ski with us for a day. kind of get a feel for who we are at DSES and just make sure that it's a good fit for everyone. We ask that ski instructor volunteers can comfortably control their speed through turn shape on an intermediate terrain. If you know the mountain, basically skiing comfortably down Broadway. And then we do a second day of training in the winter, specifically around how to teach adaptive lessons, how to build a ski instruction progression, and then adapt it for where your student is, what their situation is and how they learn and can approach skiing and riding.
So from seeing what has gone on there personally for several years, there are some students that need more attention, than other students. And how do the volunteers, or how do you train the volunteers to deal with somebody maybe with a different level of autism, or as opposed to a cognitive disability or PTSD? There's different levels that the students, so do you guys train the volunteers to have to, because if you have a student out on the slope and he or she may have a meltdown, because it can be daunting, to be out there. I mean, I can ski it. It's still daunting for me.
Right.
So how do you help the volunteers deal with every kind of situation?
Yeah. We've been working a lot over the last few years on trying to kind of build our knowledge base and to offer more training. We have a professional staff, paid staff of individuals who have really devoted their working life to adaptive recreation, and we work a lot through them and through other opportunities to really try to build that skill set. So, for instance, this winter
everybody says this winter, we all go,
it's like, well, I'm like working back through the file in my mind and trying to come up with a last name that I don't remember right now. But we had a woman, Kelly, who came and offered a training and really intense training about her experience as a person with autism, and how her experience manifests and how we can use that to help us understand better our participants' experience. Mm-hmm. And everybody is different. Everybody exists in the world in a different way. And so there's no one way to work with people. And so we're trying to offer opportunities for our volunteers and our staff to understand the spectrum of different people's experiences, how different people communicate, how can we better communicate with people who don't communicate in the same way that we do. We work often with folks who don't use verbal communication, but communicate in other ways. And we're trying to build our understanding and share that with others, because it's been, I think, easy to make assumptions about how people understand or how people what participants' goals are. And really we're trying to understand from our participants' perspective, mm-hmm. their goals are. What do they want to do? I mean, some people really want to ski off the top. Other people want to go out and hang out with their friends, and, how or where they ski isn't really the most important thing. The same thing is true in the summer for our biking and paddling programs. And so, oftentimes a lot of our summer recreation opportunities are built around that group experience. So it's, I want to go have a fun day at the beach, right? And we can be there to support, and we can be there to coach, and trying to give our volunteers and our staff opportunities to build their tool set, if you will, and how they work with people with different experiences and different backgrounds is really key to making everything successful.
So how do you deal with some of your students are children? So it also means you have to deal with the parents. So what kind of training do you have to deal with the parents? Because I imagine, and I've seen a lot of parents that are very overprotective of their kids and are frightened to let them go off with a volunteer for the first time to ski. So what is it you tell the parents to calm their nerves when their child is about to go with you guys for the first time?
Sure. It's really interesting how different parents approach it. We do a very thorough assessment, whether it's through our written registration documents, but also through conversation when people arrive. We want to know, how your day has been. Did you drive up here last night and get in at 3 a.m. and here you are at 9? That gives us some information about where you might be in the world. And so it's interesting because some parents are really comfortable saying, I trust you, go forth.
Yes. See you at 4 o'clock.
See you at bye. And some parents feel like they want to be involved and they want to see what's happening. Oftentimes we'll have a conversation with parents to say, that you're welcome to do that. But we have observed, especially in the case of, in most kids, really, sometimes kids act differently when their parents are there and when their parents aren't there.
They still, no matter what the age.
That's true.
Yeah.
And so we will have that conversation and say, if you think this is going to be beneficial for you to be there, you're welcome to join us. However, sometimes we find that it is actually easier for the student to enjoy their experience on the lesson if they don't know that you're there. And so we have some secret places where we can tell parents or offer parents to go and be able to watch and observe the lesson without the students necessarily knowing.
This episode of This Crazy Life is also sponsored by Jaspin IT Consultants. Jaspin is trusted by financial firms, hospitals, and small businesses with over 30 years of experience, specializing in computer repair for PC and Mac, managed IT solutions, managed antivirus, servers, virtualization, networking, surveillance solutions, VoIP phone service, and digital signage. We are building a reputation for creating a positive return on investments for our clients. If you are serious about your business success, our team of professionals can get you there. Strategic thinking, personal attention, competitive prices, real-world results. Discover the Jaspin difference. Located at 249 North Main Street in Bishop, California, 760-872-2797, or on the web at www.jaspin.com.
That they're there.
Well, that's kind of like when our kids were in, first grade and second grade. Did you ever spy on them in school?
No.
I did. Oh, I did. So my kids were in the daycare center at Paramount Pictures when they were, in daycare school. And I would totally spy on them, and they wouldn't know I was there. You never did that? You have 4 kids and you never spied on them?
Well, maybe at preschool, making sure they're okay. But by the time they got up there, I was like,
yeah, they're on their own.
And often what we find is that parents will maybe watch for a little while, and then when they feel comfortable, they can go and do their own thing.
Go back to the hotel room.
Right. Or go ski.
Yeah, ski. Or go back to the hotel room and sleep for 6 hours while we fit. Sure, yeah, just go back to sleep. So you mentioned student assessment.
Mm-hmm.
So when a first-time family calls you, and says, I have a student with a learning disability or has autism, what do you ask them? What are the protocols for you to be able to say, yes, we can work with your child, and this is what you can do, and this is when you can come up?
We can work with anyone.
Right.
We have some limitations on the types of equipment that we use, and just safety requirements. Based on like a biski or a monoski, there are certain weight requirements for that type of equipment. But really, we can.
What's a biski?
I'm sorry. A biski is a seated ski that has two skis
it's like the seat, like the seat.
The seated ski, yeah.
Okay.
And then there's two skis underneath.
Okay.
And the complement to that is a monoski, which is a seated ski with one ski.
Got it.
Okay. So both of those pieces of equipment, because of loading and unloading chairlifts, there's some weight requirements to that. But really, we can ski, ride, bike, paddle with anyone, really. So our assessment tools are really based around trying to, as we've said, like get to know people's personal situations in life, try to understand things like, how do they walk up and down stairs? How, you mentioned a meltdown. We've all had them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like when someone is stressed out, how do they respond to stress? And what are some tools that we can use to help them get through that stress?
So you would ask the parents, say, okay, if your child gets stressed out, what are the signs we should look for?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
What are the signs they look for? In some people it's really obvious, like some people will just straight up throw a tantrum.
Right.
Other people might just completely check out and not want to talk or engage. And everybody has different ways of working through that. We also ask a lot about motivations. What are people interested in? Are you interested in pursuing ski competition, or are you just interested in trying to get on the chairlift? Or from a biking perspective, are you someone who is using like a strider bike or training wheels or a certain kind of seated bike, like most bikes have a seat, but a recumbent bike as opposed to a stand-up bike, an upright bike. So we try to ask those kind of things. We also, it gets as nitty-gritty as food allergies,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. Food is not part of our daily lesson program, but we want to be conscious of that. What are rewards? Like some people like stickers, some people like chocolate, some people
Like donuts.
just need.
Yeah.
Are you a donut person?
Well, try to only once a week.
I tried. We've talked about. We have a really great donut shop down here, and I say we like I live down here, but I live down here a few days, months. King's Donuts. I want to ask you about fundraising. So I know the DS relies on a lot of fundraising. So what kind of fundraising programs does DSES have?
Well, we do rely on fundraising. Our programs would not be possible without community support, both the support of Mammoth Mountain Ski Area, which donates hugely to make our skiing and riding programs possible, and also, monetary donations to help subsidize our what we do, our work. We never turn anyone away because of a financial need. Our goal is really to make sure that everyone has opportunities to get outside and recreate. So fundraising programs, we do 2 big events every year. The Sierra Cycle Challenge is coming up in July. And in the winter, we have the Extravaganza, which is our winter gala. Stay tuned. That's coming up on December 9th. And this year is the winter ball. So I know it's May, so we have a few months.
Well, everybody can put it on the calendar. I know. December 9th.
Start planning your
DSES. It does. It does fill up fast.
But our Sierra Cycle Challenge is a great event. We do a 2-week cycling challenge where we encourage folks to try to meet a challenging goal of riding bikes or hiking or it's really whatever's challenging for you.
But if you do it 10 times, it'll be a mile.
Exactly. Perfect. Yeah. I personally go for about 200 miles in that 2-week time period, and it can be a road bike, a mountain bike, an e-bike, really any way that you're getting outside and rolling is great. It's peer-to-peer fundraising campaign, so we encourage folks to reach out and raise money from their friends to sponsor their rides. And then on July 30th, which is the last day of the challenge, we are having a party in the park. And
Which park?
well,
Because one of our parks has sort of been taken over by this thing.
not that park.
Not that park. Okay. Have you
Last
seen
year,
the thing?
No, what is the thing?
The thing. It's a thing.
Is it snow?
Nope.
Oh,
It's this thing.
okay.
last year we did it at Gull Lake Park in June.
Okay.
And we may do that again, but we're kind of doing an assessment on the roads in and around the places where we might have the party. Because we do a group ride that morning and then we have a party in the park. And as you may know, because we've had an excessive amount of snow and water, some of our roadways are not as great for cycling as they were 6 months ago.
Right.
So we're trying to get a good assessment there. But I will tell you the felt cutouts will be playing as part of our ride in the park. It's our finish line party and we're really excited and just starting the planning.
You just need the park. That's going to... It's hard to make any plans right now. We're not sure when this episode is going to air, but as of right now...
Right.
Oh my gosh. And it's just, the melt is just starting. So, so we know that the parks right now, like I said, I don't know when this is going to air, but the parks, a lot of the places that you guys do your outside events are covered with snow, maybe covered with water. And I guess we'll just stay tuned. Yeah, for your advertisement of where all these DSCS events are going to happen.
Conditions are changing.
Yes.
We're really excited for the summer.
Terrific.
I think many of us are.
Are you excited for the summer, Jason?
Yes. It's already hit here.
It is. Yeah. It is warm.
I'm going to have to put the swamp cooler up this weekend because it's getting hot in the house already.
It is.
91 today here.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Not up in Mammoth. It's not going to be 91.
No, it's not really freezing at night anymore.
No, that's good. So, well, Laura, thank you so much for being here. Laura Beardsley with DSCS. The website is www.disabled-sports-eastern-sierra.org, correct?
Yes.
And you can donate there. You can find out about the programs, and you can look at the volunteer page. And it's a wonderful program.
It's a wonderful program. It's a wonderful community.
It is a wonderful community.
Would be thrilled to have everybody be part of it.
Right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Jason. Have a good day.
Bye, Stacey.
Bye.
Thank you.